Things are starting to move very fast as far as self-deportation of illegal immigrants goes. I don't think this is being covered under 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 This is something where people are doing it on their own initiative after the Attorney General has given many warnings saying that you now have CPB Home, which is a new app that you need to use to register that you have actually self-deported. Why is this important? Well, if you don't do that, if you're caught and then if you're sent home, then the consequences are quite terrible. And I'm going to walk you through those consequences in this slide deck. Please do like and also subscribe to our channel. Here we go. Illegals are self-deporting, and why are they doing that? Here is what is the story here. One individual that you're seeing has attracted a lot of attention is this Palestinian guy who supposedly has even a green card but has been deported, and that is causing a lot of consternation. And this case is still kind of lurching around. I think he is now being held in Louisiana, if I'm not wrong. But whatever it is, the United States Trump administration is very clear that people who are going to take part in Hamas activities in support of them, those are people that are not welcome. And also, I've been telling this to you from 8th October 2023, when the first protest started. I told all the students, doesn't matter which country you are, your job to go to universities to study, get education, get knowledge, get a degree, and get out. Don't get involved in these things. This was laughed at when Mitt Romney suggested it in 2012. Ha 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 ha. Why would anyone want to self-deport themselves? Well, it has now become a reality. Even though Mitt Romney's Republican ideology does not match that of Donald Trump, but be that as it may, right now self-deportations are happening. There's been an international advertising campaign that the DHS has carried out saying that you need to leave by late April at the latest, or faced arrest and removal by immigration authorities. You're seeing all these social media videos. Somebody just gets caught while shopping or doing something, and then they have been dragged to a detention facility. Look, the first set of illegals that are being taken out are the really, really bad criminal elements that have entrenched in themselves into the United States society, like the Tren de Aragua or the other cartels that we are seeing. These were all deliberately sent by China into United States. That's what people are saying, because Venezuela is sort of like the cat's paw of China. That's what, again, people allege. I'm not going to say that I know this for a fact, but clearly there is some sort of a cause and response kind of thing. Now, the other reason probably is the fear of being sent to this specialty prisons such as the CECOT in El Salvador, and that's a pretty nasty place, is what I've heard. So maybe people are saying it is better to self-deport than to take your chances staying in the United States. Now, the undocumented immigrants have unlawfully resided in the United States for over 180 days, but less than a year. That is, if your stay in the US is between 6 months to a year, then you face a 3-year ban on re-entry. That is, if you depart voluntarily. This is the thing. If you're caught here illegally, then big problem. That I'll come to in a moment. But at least if you self-deport, you have a 3-year ban, and then after that you can apply to come back to the United States. Those who have overstayed for a year or more face a 10-year ban. Again, these are voluntary self-deportations. We are not talking about being caught here. That is banned for life, is what I'm told. That could change, of course. These are all things that are not cast in concrete, but the consequences are rather drastic. Cities like Denver, which absorb the most illegal migrants per capita, are seeing a notable rise in voluntary self-deportations. Now, under Biden, millions were allowed to apply for asylum and remain in the US. Programs like CBP One App, Safe Mobility, and CHNV program enabled mass entry. I'm also told that in many countries in Latin America, there were offices that were open to facilitate illegal entry into the United States. Can you believe that? Again, at the US taxpayers' expense. The Trump administration has dismantled or defunded most of them, and now we have the CBP one app has been changed to CBP Home. In fact, if you upgrade CBP 1, it shows you the new version CBP Home, and that's the one that will allow you to self-deport, because you do need to make it known to the United States that you have self-deported. That puts you in a slightly higher level in terms of the queue to come back to the United States. The app allows undocumented individuals to declare their intent to depart the US, potentially preserving the opportunity for legal re-entry in the future. Like I said, 3 years to 10 years wait time. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem said this gives migrants a chance to leave voluntarily and legally return later or face permanent removal. I told you, remember, that if you are caught in the US, if you are illegal, you are banned permanently for life. Now, what are the stories of people who have left on their own? Christian and Jesus, two Venezuelan migrants in Denver, expressed fear of deportation and have scheduled appointments to leave voluntarily. An Indian student, Ranjani Srinivasan, self-deported using the app after her visa was revoked over anti-Israel protests. She has actually moved to Canada. That's very interesting. That's another small twist in this whole story. A 23-year-old Venezuelan migrant in Detroit surrendered to the ICE, saying he feared turning to crime if not taken into custody. Now, what is the actual number of illegal immigrants in the United States? This is a huge question, guys. It's between 11 to 25 million, and I'm coming to a middle of 18 million. It is believed that this is the number that is there. At 18 million, you are talking about a fairly big number, which is like 5% of 1 in 20 on US today in US soil is an illegal immigrant. So that's a big number. Now, over 8.5 million migrant encounters occurred during Biden's term per CBP data. Now, Trump's re-election on a hardline immigration pledge triggered a series of aggressive measures. And now, Tom Homan has been working at it very diligently. And now there is deployment of troops along the Mexican border, pressure on Canada, Mexico to strengthen their border controls, the designation of transnational gangs like 𝗪𝗓𝗪𝗪, MS-13 as terrorist organizations, and tens of thousands of ICE arrests targeting gang members and convicted criminals. Let's take a look at what is CECOT, the El Salvador Mega Prison. Trump struck an unprecedented deal with El Salvador President Nayib Bukele to deport criminal illegals to CECOT. This contrasts with what Rishi Sunak was trying to do. He was just trying to send like 500 people to Rwanda. Everything was similar deal. Rwanda was going to get money per head, and they were going to deport the illegals from UK to Rwanda. Not a single soul left the country. As far as United States is concerned, we are looking at close to 70,000 now who have been deported. This is not including the ones who are doing self-deportation. I think there are two different numbers. That number people really don't know. I think it'll come to surface soon, because again, like I said, they have to register that they are leaving the United States. So that number also will be published soon. Now, under this arrangement, the US will pay El Salvador $6 million for 1 year to detain approximately 300 individuals purportedly affiliated with gangs such as TDA and MS-13. The prison can hold up to 40,000 inmates under maximum security, no contact conditions. Now, this is one side. There is this one judge, Boasberg, who has given an order to not allow people to leave, but the deportations are continuing. The Trump administration is ignoring his directive. He's jumping up and down. He has issued a couple more orders, but people are not really listening to him. What are the consequences of that? I'm not going to take a guess on this, but I think that this is going to get kicked up to the Supreme Court of the United States, and then we'll have to see what they decide. In fact, I think somebody had asked the Chief Justice of the United States as to what he wants to do about this. He said the appeal process must continue, and let us see where this goes and ends. So this is 238 TDA and 23 alleged MS-13 members were deported to El Salvador after the ruling of Judge Boasberg. The deported individuals were incarcerated in CECOT, a maximum security prison known for its stringent conditions. Legal experts and human rights organizations continue to scrutinize the implications of this arrangement. Now, like I said, Mitt Romney mooted this in 2012 against Obama, and they criticized it roundly, but now that has become a reality. The combination of legal pressure, tech tools like CBP Home app, and harsh detention alternatives is shifting the landscape. So we'll have to wait and see whether the pace at which Trump wants this to happen is going to be matched or not. Because again, it's 11 million or 18 million or 25 million. It's a lot of people, a lot of people. Fortunately, about 40% are from Mexico. That means that there's a chance that a good percentage may actually leave United States and go back to Mexico. I think the point here is legal immigration is fine, which is the way it was for the United States for close to 200 years. Close to. And I think that's what I think United States favors. I think most of us have come in legally, and I think that's what works best for this country. Let's wait and see where things stop. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications.